Okay, well here we are, and I was thinking, why don't I do a tutorial for how to do a Guardians build, like how to open properly. But then I'm like, I don't feel like doing a tutorial in skirmish because I want to do my tutorial for people in actual PvP. So I just joined Quick Match. I don't know who this guy is. I've never heard of him, so I'm pretty confident. But so I'm just gonna go what I normally do. This is what I consider to be a pretty normal build for Guardians. For Renegades, it's pretty similar, and I'm going to explain the minor differences. And so the first thing you want to do is you definitely need to get the ref first. You need the ref first. Get it as close to the point as you can. And all the maps that are currently in the map pool, you can do this. Next, you go for the barracks. And from the barracks, I usually like to build. I would say build at minimum one combat engineer immediately, in case the enemy is Marines or Cranioids. Because if they're Cranioids, the Xenodogs are going to be an issue. If they're Marines, the what's it called? The Harpies are going to be an issue. Okay, so next, after the racks, you go for the motor pool and the ref immediately after that. As soon as possible, you're going to want to start up one harvester. So you can see we have 2 harvesters for each of these points. That's going to put us slightly in the red in terms of power, but that's going to be okay. Now this is when builds start diverging. I, at this point, like to go for my production's a little trash right now because I'm talking. But ignore the fact that I wasn't building units optimally. But after this power, you have an option. You usually want to go for some sort of combination of 2 more motor pools and a tech lab, unless you for some reason think you need a quick tech. In that case, you want to go for the tech lab first, and then you want to build another power and build a radar. But I'm not going to do that because I don't feel a need to quick tech. The only time I feel a need to quick tech is if I'm against a Renegades, Marines, or Lightbringers. Oh, that is a lot of units actually. One thing that is really useful for Guardians early game actually, if you feel like you're up against. Actually, let's go back to my previous point about when I feel the need to quick tech. The only time I would ever feel the need to quick tech normally would be if I'm against a race that has a strong tier 2 anti-vehicle unit. So in that case, Renegades have tanks, Lightbringers have treants, and Marines have ogres. Those units are not good for us. I'm not building infantry very efficiently, ignore that. But basically, the reasoning behind that is that rocket cars can't trade evenly versus them, and neither can. Okay, so you're like, why did I build the APC? That's why. And now... Okay, yeah, they surrendered. That was an interesting tutorial. I mean, I think it started out okay with but I think I gave an example of how to play a very aggressive Guardian style. Actually, that wasn't even that aggressive. It was just opportunistic. But the APC is very strong early game. It can crush all infantry except for the Marine and the Harpy. It also can't crush Paladins or Warriors, but they're technically vehicles, judging by their armor type. So, versus Deathsworn, for example, a single APC could take out all the skeleton archers. Then from there, if you had higher APM than me, you could indefinitely kite the you could kite the warriors with the rocket cars. They can't hit you because you outrange them and you're faster. On the other hand, as you can see there, I did lose a couple rocket cars because I couldn't micro the rocket cars and crush with the APC at the same time. And I was talking. But, yeah. On the other hand, I think I should have talked a bit more about the map in my decision to go for the build I did. Penguin Paradise is a very small map, and because of that, versus a Deathsworn or another Guardians player, I would definitely spend a little more time on Tier 1 getting more motor pools on the fields, because it's possible to win a game on Tier 1 alone on this map versus a Guardians or a Deathsworn, maybe even a Cranioids in certain cases. On the other hand, versus a Marine, Lightbringer, or Renegades player on this map, I would be afraid of tanks, treants, and ogres. So in that case, I might actually choose to try to fast tech to play conservatively, to not expand as quickly as I did. But in this case, versus a Deathsworn, I'm like, okay, I want to be aggressive. In that case, you want to expand outwards as fast as you can and build a lot of production buildings. Like, after my last power plant that I built there was finished, I could have built a radar. I definitely could have went for radar tech at that point, but instead I decided to go for 2 more motor pools. And specifically that was because I felt like I could see the opponent was on Tech 1, and I was like, I feel like being aggressive. I feel like winning right now, and